Guys, so today's going to be a quick recipe on how to make stromboli. So first I use this dough recipe that comes out of this cookbook by Rip Esselstyn. It's My Beef with Meat, and it's a good book. It's a plant-based book. And let's see. Anyhow, the recipe is for a flatbread dough or pizza dough, and this is the only crust I make for my pizzas and my stromboli. So here we use 3 cups of wheat flour plus 1 cup for coating the surfaces, and then 1 package of dry yeast, or I use 2 1/4 teaspoon, and it says 1/8 teaspoon of salt, optional. I don't use salt. 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and 1 1/4 cups of warm water. And then you mix it all together, and then you just cover it with a paper towel, and you let it sit for 10 minutes. Then you knead it, and then you let that sit for 10 minutes, and then it's ready to go. So here I got my yeast already, and I got my toppings actually cooked. I'll show you that. So I put in here, let me turn my light on, mushrooms, onions, and garlic. And I got my flour, and then I thought I better record this because I don't think I've ever done it, so we'll do that today. So here we go. This is just the whole white wheat flour you see in many of my videos. And we're just going to go ahead and add that to our bowl. And this is how I do it. It turns out wonderful every time. So that's 2. And here's 3. I put the yeast in there. We don't use salt, so that's easy enough. This here is 1/2 cup of applesauce, which is just a 4-ounce package, unsweetened applesauce. And we're just going to dump that in there. And then all we need is 1 1/4 cups of warm water. So there we got 1 1/4 cups of warm water. And we're just going to go ahead and dump that in. And then we mix it. And you just need a fork and just mix it up. This is such an easy, quick way to make pizza dough or bread. You can make garlic breadsticks out of this. Oh, so after I discovered this recipe, I said, there's no better one out there that I know of. So I'm just going to stick with it, you know. They say if it's successful, don't mess with that. And then all we do is get our hands in there, and we just knead. You knead this up a little bit. You'll see it. It's a good dough if you ever try this, which I hope you will. It's really a good dough. I hope everybody's doing well today. It's cold here in North Country, as I'm sure it is where you're at too, unless you're living in the southern regions. Okay, so you're just going to keep kneading this until it increases in tension, and once you feel that it has, then you can stop and cover that. So far mine's still a little bit more flour, I think, just a tiny bit more, like that. And we'll go ahead and knead it a little bit more. I think too, when you're making bread dough and pizzas and stuff like that, a lot depends on what the weather is like outside. So if it's rainy and cold, it might take a little more flour and stuff. I don't know. So just go ahead and knead it. See how it's a little bit sticky? I still want a little bit more. See, when you breaks apart, that's, well, I learned this when I used to make donuts as a baker, but if it sort of breaks apart when you're pulling it, it's not quite ready. So you just add a little more flour, just tiny bits. And you should have a little, just don't add a lot at a time, just a little bit. And then it should make us a nice crust. Okay, so now that the tension's built up, you're just going to lay a wet paper towel on it and time that for 10 minutes. Okay, while we're letting that rest, we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 400 degrees. So turn it up to 400. And then I'm going to show you how I make my pizza sauce. This is it's my own recipe, but it's super, super simple. If you guys use sugar, I'd suggest using it, but if you don't like me, you can use maple syrup. And all you're going to do is take one of these cans of tomato paste, 12-ounce cans, and you're going to open it up, and then you're just going to take it and put it into a bowl. Okay, so I've never really measured this, but I'm going to today. So I got about a half a can of water. Just dump that in there. And then I use basil in mine. And we'll go ahead and measure this since I've never measured it before. Okay, so we're going to use about 1 teaspoon of basil. And then we're going to get, let's see, 3 teaspoons is equal to 1 tablespoon of, we're going to use this here maple syrup I got. Pure maple syrup. And we're going to just add it in there. Okay, so now the maple syrup in there. Now all we're going to do is just stir it, mix it up really good until it's all blended through thoroughly. Okay guys, I mixed that and I need a little more, so I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of maple syrup. I like a little sweeter sauce. If you don't like it sweet, then don't add it. But if you're using sugar, just go ahead and use same amounts. It's not a big deal. There we go. Now there you have it. That's our pizza sauce. It's delicious. I use this sauce for pizzas and stromboli. Okay guys, 10 minutes is up and our dough is ready. Now what we're going to do is get a scraper if you have one of these scrapers and get yourself some flour, and we're going to just flour the surface like that. And we're going to go ahead and put our dough on it. Get it out of there. And what I like to do is cut it right in half. Like that. And then this part we're going to go ahead and knead. So go ahead and knead your dough. This is how I do it. I just pull it in and push it out. The dough already feels nice. You can tell when a dough feels nice, like it's going to be a good pizza dough. This dough is wonderful. You don't have to overly work it. You're just working in any air bubbles if there are any, but don't even seem like there is any in this. So I got a little too much flour there, but I like it on the bottom. We're just going to go ahead and roll this into a ball. Just what I do is pull it in and like that. Just keep pushing your wrist, push your wrist in like this and pull it back like that. And you turn it as you go. Push, turn, push, turn, push, turn. And make it into a nice ball. Usually I do this with 2 hands, but since I'm holding the phone, I'll do it the best I can. There we go. And then you're going to heat your rag back up with warm water. Wring it out really well. And then just going to lay it right on top of that ball. Like that. Now you're going to dry, that's so it doesn't dry out. Now you'll need to dry your hands off because, you just worked with that. So now we're going to do this one. And do it the same way I flatten it out. There is a little air in it, not much. And then just work it in there using your wrist in a circular motion. And now you can go ahead and make your ball. It doesn't needed much, like I said before. Just a little bit. Now you're going to go ahead and roll it into your ball. Like that. You can even do this, I learned. It's like a circle. However you can do it. If you have 2 hands, use both, And There's the second ball, and I'll just use the same towel. And we're going to lay that right over top, and we're going to time this again for 10 more minutes. Okay, while that's resting, we're going to go ahead and make our vegan cheese. Okay, everybody loves cheese, right? So this is what we use, tofu. I like extra firm, any type like that is great. And get yourself some nutritional yeast. I had bought this once, and I also have another one I can show you. This one's here's the Frontier Co-op brand. Any kind of yeast will do, whatever you have. I was just thinking, since I'm an affiliate at Amazon now, I could maybe link, this book and link some nutritional yeast for you guys. I don't know if they carry tofu, but hey, you never know. I can look around and see what links I have, and maybe I'll put them in the bottom of the description. And that way, if you want to try this recipe, all you have to do is click on the link to order the products for it. Sounds like a good idea. And I get a little commission, I guess, if you guys do that. So it helps me out and you out too. So it's a win-win. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with this tofu cheese, and I'll show you what we do. So just grab your pack, and let's see if I can get it open with one hand. I don't know. I might need to get scissors. Hold on. Okay, so just open up the tofu, and then all you have to do is drain it. You know what I like to do too? I like to also add a little water over top. You don't have to do this, but it's nice if you want. Just kind of rinse it out a little bit, right? Okay, we'll go ahead and dump this in there. This block of tofu. Boom. And then I just take my hands and do this. I just break it all up like that. Tofu is a wonderful product if you never had it. It's made out of soybean, and it'll take on the flavor of anything you want to make. So say some of you guys are not vegan, and you're on the fence, you want to go vegan but you're afraid. I'll tell you, this does taste like, you can make it taste like cheese, you can make it taste like beef, you can make it taste like pork, whatever you're craving or whatever you're into, tofu will fool you. It takes on the flavor, and it's good, it's delicious. It's healthy for you too. There's so many vitamins and stuff in it. And then, okay, so all you got to do is take your flakes. Again, I've never measured this, and maybe I should for the video. Let me grab a cup. But I kind of know when I do it. I kind of like it, by a certain color. You know what I mean? So I'll just grab a 1/4 cup measurement, and we'll see. Maybe there's a 1/4 cup in here. Okay, so there it is, 1/4 cup. And you just dump it in there. And I'll mix that up. And it turns like a yellow color, right? But see, the nutritional yeast, it tastes like cheese, like cheddar cheese. It's a little tasting salty, but you see, there's only 5 mg's or milligrams of sodium in here. So there's really not a lot of sodium, but it tastes so good. But that's the color you want. You want it like a yellow. That's perfect. Now your cheese is all done. There you go. And when you put it on the top of your Stromboli or your pizza, you ain't gonna never know that it isn't real cheese, to be honest. Okay, so get yourself 2 pans. Here you'll see I have a round one, and then I have a long one. And I put parchment paper, and then I just go ahead and put a little of this cornmeal on it. And then we're ready, because the timer went off, for our dough. So now, here's what I like to do. Just flatten her out. And then I get for these, I do a rolling pin, but for my pizzas, I don't. My pizzas, I just flip them around by hand. So I'll grab my rolling pin, and I'll show you. Okay, so just sprinkle a little bit of flour down. And then get your rolling pin and just do this and just roll it out. And as I roll, I turn mine. And you just keep doing that until you get the thickness that you want. Remember, these are Stromboli, so they should be a little large. And this dough will shrink back in. So, you know, when you're rolling like this, it'll go out and then it'll come back. You know what I mean, right? You probably made pizza before. It's funny, I always think to myself, oh, you're not showing them anything they don't already know, but maybe somebody doesn't know. And what I do to loosen it, you just kind of pick it up and do that just to get it loose. Okay. Sometimes I'll put them into a ball, and maybe that's what I'll do. I'll still form a ball. I mean, a round circle, sort of. You can make them sort of square, round, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I sort of got it round. I had to pause it a minute so that I could do it with 2 hands. But you see there, it's kind of round. It's not perfect, but okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fill it. I like to go to the edges as much as I can. You don't want to go too far to the edges, or you won't have nothing to seal it to. But try to get to the edges close as you can. And we like a lot of sauce. So that's how I do it. Just like that. Then we're going to put on our mushrooms. You know, I got a big kitchen and I'm still running out of room. So this is mushrooms, onions, and garlic. Again, you can use whatever you want. This is just what I have. We're only going to put this on one side, though. If you're making a pizza, of course, you want it on all of it. But because it's a Stromboli, we're only going to do half of it. Doesn't that look good? Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to do the tofu cheese. I don't know what else to call it, but I call it cheese, even though it's not cheese. Okay, here we go. And put that on top. This stuff is so good, but I tell you what we do. You're not going to believe it, but you know, as vegans, we eat a lot because you don't have all that. See, I think meat and protein or whatever, or, well, it's not protein. Okay. So animal food, animal products, I think actually the meat part fills you up quick. I don't know why that is, but it does. And so with the vegans, you have to eat a little bit more than normal people eat. So what I do is I bake some potatoes in the microwave. You could bake them in the oven if you want. And I have those on the side and then a salad. And you're not going to be like, what? You eat all that? But yeah, we do. We eat all this. And we're not even ashamed of it. But it's funny talking about it because I never really talked about that. But yeah, so now I might not be able to show you this on camera because I got one hand here. So, but I just wetted my fingers and I'm just going to go around the outside edges. You can, if you have a little dish of water, you can, but my sink's real close by. So just wet them all the way around. Even if you use sauce, it doesn't much matter. As long as the dough is wet, and then you're going to stick that to the other. So, I don't think I'll be able to show you, but you pick this up, and you just lay it on top. Once I get it laid on top, I'll come back. Okay, that took a whole second, but all I had to do was take both hands and then flip that on top. Now I'm just going to press it in like that. Now, see, once you get it all the edges. Once you get all the edges, then all you're going to do is take your hand and pinch. And you're just going to pinch these together to seal the edges. So go ahead and seal that all the way around. I'll show you some more. Sometimes sauce comes out, that's no big deal. Just pinch. You want to just bring your dough in and pinch it, because you don't want the filling coming out. Sort of like that. Just like that. And I also do an extra step after I do that. Then I get my fingers underneath and sort of give it a roll. And like that. And then I do that again. See? Get it in there and give it a little roll. Get it from underneath. This will ensure that you don't get any that'll come out. You don't want that to happen. Boy, I've never done this on camera before. That's kind of difficult. But I hope you get the picture. Doing this with one hand. I should have an award. So there you go. Just take it and roll it. Roll it up. Like that. You can make it pretty, huh? Just like this. This just ensures that nothing falls out. Okay, now that you got your stromboli rolled, now what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of holes on top. That allows the steam to escape. So all you would need is to get yourself a fork and dab it like you would like you would a pie crust. There's my fork. I'm just going to dab it like this. Lets the steam escape. You can even do a little on the crust. You don't have to, but I like to. Plus, it's fun. I think part of cooking has to be fun. Or why do it, right? Okay, now the fun part. Oh, and I know I won't be able to show you this on camera, but you're going to have to get two turners or these things. So I got a plastic one and I have a metal one. And what you do is you go up under your pizza dough, your stromboli dough, and you're going to transfer it onto there on your pan. If you have somebody in the kitchen that help you or whatever, say, hey, come give me a hand. And then have them, slide the pan underneath it. But that's the fun part. Okay, so once you get your stromboli onto your pan, then you're going to take scissors and you're going to cut your paper down. You see, it don't have to be perfect, but just cut it so that it fits and nothing's hanging out over, so don't burn anything. Okay, so I rolled the second one, and that one's a little better because I didn't have the phone. And I rolled it into a round circle and put the sauce on it. And now we're going to put the mushrooms. And then we'll put the cheese, tofu cheese, and then we'll bake it. I believe I baked it for about 15 to 20 minutes. But I will definitely put that in the description for y'all, because I don't ever time much of anything. I go by smell. If it smells done and it's not burnt, well, then it's done, right? But I believe it is 15 to 20 minutes. I know it's that way with pizza. So pizza's about the same time, depending on how much, toppings you have. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but so I hope y'all like this recipe and enjoy it. I mean, it's delicious. If you've never had vegan pizza and you're still on the fence, about becoming a vegan, maybe you say, oh, I'll never eat that tofu for cheese, and oh, I'll never give up my pepperoni. I beg you to try it. Just try it. One time won't kill you, right? Because not only are you making yourself healthy, but you're also saving an animal or two or three or four, however many you eat in a week. I don't know how many animals I've probably saved by not eating. I've been vegan since 2015. I never looked back, and I honestly, I would never ever go back. You just can't. Once you eat this way most of your life, no doctor, nobody is going to tell you differently, And now is more easier than ever to become vegan, because there are so many places that are serving vegan food, that carry vegan food. I mean, of course, up here in the North Country, they're still kind of behind in times. I'm not in a big city. Maybe if I was in like Boston or something, it would be different, but I'm not. And so the people around here still aren't vegan, but they don't know what they're missing. Okay. I think I'll try this on camera. Oh, there. It wasn't that hard. See, one hand. But yeah, if I can encourage someone to save an animal, save themselves, why not? Because you never ever miss meat. I don't ever miss it. And sometimes we go on like around, say, what you call it? Some of these fast food restaurants, like when you're driving through town, if you have like a Burger King or McDonald's, you'll smell the fire coming out of the, them cooking on the grill or something. And to me, it stinks. It's just an incinerator, basically, in a restaurant. When you think of it like that, ugh. Okay, so there's the pinching, and then I do this motion. You see how much sauce came out, because I did give this one a lot of sauce. Maybe a little more than the other one, but it doesn't matter because we love sauce anyhow. It just won't look as pretty, I guess. This one here is a little tiny bit smaller too, so if you care about that and you want them both the same size, then I suggest that you weigh your dough. But I don't particularly care about it, because I'll eat the smaller one and give the bigger one to my honey. And of course, it's usually the other way around. I eat more than him half the time, because I don't know, he doesn't. Nah, I can't say that. We both eat a lot in one sitting. It was so funny the other night when I made that lima bean soup. I hope you saw that recipe, by the way. It's up on my channel. It's delicious. He says, oh, what are you, is that all the food we got? Because it was just lima bean soup and those biscuits. And I said, well, what more did you want, He said, I'm so used to having a feast for dinner that looked small to him. But honestly, we had 2 bowls of it, and we each had, I think, 2.5 biscuits or 3 biscuits apiece, something like that. And it was good. It was delicious. And we were satisfied, just the 2 of us. So, all right, I'm doing the fork thing. Sometimes I get off on a talking spree. I don't want to make the video too long, but it is pretty long already. I hope somebody watches this. But I try to make my videos to where it's fun and welcoming and that you feel like you're at home, you know? All right, that's it. Now we're just going to go ahead and get it on to the tray, and we're going to bake this 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Okay guys, now this is done, and it's been 20 minutes. That's what they look like. And you'll see the bottom's got a little bit of brown to it. Not bad. All right, I'll be back when it's all plated up. Okay guys, here we are. Here's the final product. It kind of broke a little bit right here because it was so long it wouldn't fit on the plate. There's our salad. And here's our baked potatoes with avocado, garlic, and onion powder. So, yeah, I think it's a meal fit for a king and queen. What do you guys think? Doesn't this look delicious? I wish you all could be here to try this. That would have a big, fun feast at our house. All right. Hopefully you guys will like this recipe. Give it a try. Leave me a thumbs up. Hit the bell and all the things. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Why is a banana peel on the sidewalk like music? Because if you don't see sharp, you'll be flat.